Alrighty, have another Lizardman replay here. Lizardman versus Skaven. Had some ideas I wanted to try out with John FB on how to play this matchup. In Warhammer 2, for most of Warhammer 2's life, it was considered extremely Skaven favored. And then I had an unpopular opinion, but it was my opinion that after Oxyotl came out with these Chameleon Stalkers, I didn't feel like it was that Skaven favored anymore. It was either even or like slightly Skaven favored, maybe even Lizardman favored, because they would just spam skinks at you, and there were so many bodies and Croxagors, and they would just push through. Now Croxagors suck, but in Warhammer 3 I thought there might be something similar there. We have 2 Ripperdactyl Riders for some armor-piercing anti-infantry. We have 2 Chameleon Stalkers in the distance, a whole bunch of Skink Cohorts to just eat Poison Globes, Skink Cohorts, Javelins to hunt down Rat Ogres and stuff, 2 Feral Bastildons for only 650 gold. These guys have 140 armor, pretty good melee stats, armor-piercing anti-infantry, so they can be really disruptive. Fire Slan, I've really been liking generic Slans recently, and the Fire Slan especially versus Skaven. Fireball to poke out their heroes, and Burning Head to clear out their infantry. Then Feral Cold Ones and Cold Riders for just basic cav. And their armor piercing, so if you can get onto a Poison Globe team, they can actually do a lot of damage. For our opponent, does have a Packmaster paired with a Chieftain for some healing. Packmaster can provide the Chieftain with a little bit of healing over there. Icket Claw with just Flensing Ruin and Brass Orb. Bunch of Rat Ogres, Skaven Slave Slingers, Poison Globadiers, Natty Booba Sharpshooters, Eshin Triads, and more Slaves, and more Slings, and more Clan Rats. Poison Globes wrecking my front line, already doing the good stuff, but I don't really care about them. That's why I kept them as cheap as possible. I really care about these Ripperdactyls who tear the Poison Globes, an absolute new one. They have been doing quite well recently. And then boom, the Burning Head Slan already getting his value in, routing off a Skaven Slave, routing off a Clan Rat, and really opening up that front line so I can try and push through. There's a Flensing Ruin cast onto some of my Colden Riders. This does okay damage, but it mostly is useful on single entities. Distildon's being annoying. Ripperdactyl still being annoying, but we've already started the mass routes, and the second wave is coming in now. Chameleon Stalker's getting into combat. They have issues with throwing their grenades. You can see this one barely used any of their grenades. The other one didn't use a lot either, so that's a reason you haven't seen Chameleon Stalkers too much, is they just kind of suck at using their weapons, but I needed them more for their stock capabilities than I needed them for their real DPS. So with Chameleon Stalkers baiting the Rat Ogre charge, I countercharge with Cold Riders, and I'm starting to slip Feral Cold Ones into the formation. Skaven are routing, and as soon as they start routing, they will never come back because I do have the superiority in mobility assets, so I can chase them all off the map. Unfortunately, a lot of my mobility can rampage, and they will infinitely rampage because that bug is still in the game, but we're still doing alright. Ripperdactyl shut down, Natty Boobos. So most of the Skaven ranged is entirely on. We are down to just a melee bump and grind, which they do have Eshin Triads, Rat Ogres, Chieftains, Bone Breakers, etc. Maybe they'll be okay, but it is looking quite Lizard favored at this junction. There are so many Skaven routing at the same time, we are having a weird problem of not being able to chase all of them down. They're just slipping through the cracks. Some of them are being allowed to rally. My Slan is getting a little closer to the fight because I wanted to be able to Burning Head those low armor Triads. They don't require an Overcast to do pretty significant damage to them. Bastildon is rampaging. He will probably lose that fight. Unless I can get him a Cold Blood and get him out of there, but now he's getting surrounded. That is a very dead Bastildon. Meanwhile, Ripperdactyls were taking too long to kill Natty Boob Sharpshooters, so they are ordered back to the main fight. Feral Cold Ones still rampaging off in the distance. We have more Rippers coming back, more Feral Cold Ones coming back, so maybe we can run down more of these skinks, more of these things. Skinks and Feral Cold Ones sent to deal with those Slingers. Things looking real good for Lizardman. Things looking real good. If you ignore the fact the Chieftain, the Packmaster, and Icket are all still very healthy, yeah, we're chilling. We're big chilling. Natty Boobos have rallied in the distance. Don't love that. And now we start the fireball spam. One first shot misses the Packmaster. Rest in peace as I skulk behind a tree with my Slan. Nothing to see here, just on a tree. Ripperdactyls do dive in. Looks like they were trying to snipe Icket Claw, maybe hit some of these Rat Ogres, but now they are being torn apart by the Triads and Rat Ogres, taking a lot of damage over there. I have Chameleon Stalkers and Colden Riders that do need to opt into the fight. We do get a quick little banishment thrown in before I send my Colden Riders in. Don't really want to friendly fire them too much, but we do need to get rid of these Triads and Rat Ogres and stuff. Chameleon Stalkers taking a bit of damage over there, but it's alright. They're, at this point, kind of a melee unit. Colden Rider's going to charge in as the banishment just misses them. Yeah, the Natty Bubo shooting it by infinitely rampaging Feral Cold Ones, infinitely rampaging Feral Cold Ones over there, and Rampage is a mechanic that's just working fantastically. Like, really no complaints at all about how Rampage works. Thankfully, my infinitely rampaging Feral Cold Ones find a new target after they kill everything over there, so they're going to tear apart these Skaven slaves, maybe even end up onto Natty Bubo sharpshooters, who knows, as these Cold One Riders just get murked by 2 units of barely clinging to life Rat Ogres and those Eshin Triads. I give them a little bit of leadership and damage resistance as me and the Skink Tide are coming, boys, and a Burning Head to just soar through the crowd, using that burnt debuff to really take out 3 units. So my Cold Ones hang on with Shield of the Old Ones leadership buff, and we rout off everything nearby. Meanwhile, another Feral Bastiladon, more Feral Cold Ones, more Chameleon Stalkers are trying to fight those 2 big Skaven guys. Hit one of them with my Fireball, and Ikaclaw rolls over here saying, hey, how you guys doing? All my Rat Ogres over there ran, so I don't really want to be a part of that anymore. Ikaclaw is throwing down a Flensing Ruin on this blob, it looks like. That'll do okay damage. It'll really hurt that Feral Bastiladon. My Salon goes, nope, 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 don't want that Flensing Ruin on me. Ripperdactyls are here trying to chase off those Rat Ogres. The Feral Cold Ones that are infinitely rampaging did eventually rampage into the Natty Bubo sharpshooters, kill them, and as soon as they kill them, there's no more targets in range. The rampage finally wears off. I get them back! Yay! It's only been 35 years. Another Fireball from the Salon. That is why I bring that spell versus Skaven. Really need to poke down that Packmaster who's getting close to heal capping. Elsewhere, some Skaven Slave Slingers have rallied in the distance. Don't know how they came back. Looks like I didn't assign any assets to them. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Skinks are going to go deal with that. Cold One Riders, yep, so 2 Cold One Riders still with me, Feral Cold One still with me, Ripperdactyl still here, we're all trying to surround, but the bounce power's gotten a little better for the Skaven, and another Bastiladon bites the dust as these 2 big armor-piercing monster duelists do beat the shit out of it. Route the slings again, one shatters, the other one's fine. They send some Chameleon Stalkers after it because they're stalked. These guys will rally and then immediately get routed again by the Chameleon Stalkers. That'll shatter them, and I won't have to keep chasing them anymore. Meanwhile, these guys finally realized, wait, what if we just go kill the Salon? The Packmaster is running after the Salon. Now, Salons have almost 8,000 HP when they're at max health, so Salons are deceptively tanky for a mage combatant, but still, they don't want anything to do with this, so I'm going to run away. Cold One's still trying to rip apart the Packmaster as we rally more Skinks, we rally more units, send more Cold One Riders in front to try and get these guys off my Salons. Back, more Feral Cold Ones coming in from the distance. Ripperdactyl's finishing off some Rat Ogres. There we go, we shattered those Skaven Slaves so my Chameleon Stalkers can come back now. We are just getting everybody together. Another Fireball into the face of that Packmaster, trying to kill him so he'll stop healing the Chieftain. Ikaclaw is also here. We're trying to pick him off as the last of the Eshin Triads are going to get picked apart. A Brass Orb deletes 2 of my Skink units. Kind of surprised that one's hanging on. Good for you, little Skink unit. Eshin Triads are running. Another Flensing Ruin is cast onto my Salon. And it is overcast, but Ikit didn't take the damage, so that is pretty good for the Skaven player. Currently sapping down on my Skink cohorts, and the Salon Mage Priest doing good damage there. Now, we're getting concerned we don't have the sauce left to fight him, because I do have a full health Mage Lord that's keeping up that balance of power, but the actual balance of power, not looking that great. Chameleon Stalker's almost dead. Skink's almost dead. Cold One Riders are all dead. These are just Feral Cold Ones in the area. We have some tattered remains of Ripperdactyls who are coming back and fighting this Chieftain. Fighting him away from the Packmaster so he can't get that healing, that is pretty key. Meanwhile, another Fireball hits the Packmaster in the face, and he opts out of chasing this Salon. He just wants to try and get back close to that Chieftain. Give him a little bit of that running with the pack regen. But he's not quite able to get back in range. He is now just stuck fighting Feral Cold Ones next to Ikaclaw. There they go, they are back, and with running with the pack back on the Chieftain, he is getting that slow healing over time. Another Shield of the Old Ones from the Salon, who's hanging around just close enough to provide the leadership buffs, but not so close he actually has to be in the fighting. More Skinks are rallying in the distance, and Ripperdactyl's diving in and out, in and out, in and out. Can we hang on? These Feral Cold Ones are 450 gold units, so they're having like half a health bar on one is not that impressive. Leadership tanks for the Skaven. The Packmaster is down to 1 leadership. Oh, and the Chieftain's providing Guardian to him and Ikit. Oh, that's pretty brutal. Salon's chilling on the sidelines, saving up any winds of magic he can. It gets taking a lot of damage. Ripperdactyl's hanging in there. Ripperdactyl's doing a lot of work, but one of them is going to tear her out. Chameleon Stalkers are back in the fight, and another Flensing Ruin is going to try and punish the blob. The Lizardmen, some of them are trying to get out of there. Some of them are opting in. It was a little bit of confusion. I didn't fully see the Flensing Ruin coming down as Claw is yet again overcasting it on all these units, trying to take him out. Looks like he's not worried about sniping the Slann with it, because he knows if he gets into melee combat with the Slann, then it's all over anyway. Nickit does rout. We have Feral Cold Ones and Ripperdactyls that can maybe chase him off, but is there enough that can even stay in the fight over here? One Skink Cobra with Javelins, half HP, just getting worked on by the Chieftain and that Packmaster. Bounce power goes further in the Lizardman's favor, though I am a little suspect of that. Now, Nickit is getting chased off by the Ripperdactyls, so he won't rally unless they themselves rout, but the main problem is that they don't actually do that much damage to him as he's running, because they're flying units, and flying units are generally not that good at hitting anything that's moving. So they'll just walk him off, but they can't actually finish him, meaning they won't get the Lord is Dead debuff on these big guys, and it's going to take forever to get to the edge of the map. So I really want that leadership debuff for either the Lord is Dead or the Lord has left the battlefield. Slann does have to commit to the fight. He has to get in there. He has to start doing some stuff. And he misses. But he has to start doing some stuff. We just don't have enough bodies around that I can afford to leave that full health Slann off the battlefield. Army losses suddenly hits. And army losses saves the day. As the Lizardmen really just were not feeling it. They were not really able to kill that Chieftain Packmaster. But thankfully they didn't have to. Well, that's a cool shot. Okay, hello. Stupid Ripperdactyls, how dare you not effectively hit him? Slann, 1900 value, 1100 and 1700 on those Rippers. Feral Cold One Riders did well. Chameleon Stalkers honestly did fine. I just needed them to be a surprise disruption unit. Feral Cold Ones did great. Bastildons tear out a lot of stuff and were just generally annoying. Skinks did well. This side for John FB, Nickit Claw, 2,500 value on him, 1,100 on the Chieftain, 1,300 on the Packmaster. Slaves didn't do much. Slingers got routed very quickly. Globes got shut down. Natty Boobas got shut down. Triads actually didn't do as much as I would have thought. Rat Ogres did fine, and Clan Rats did okay. GG. Roar! Subscribe, yes, yes.